Imagine making a mistake at work that is just so massive, and yet it seems completely innocent at the time, like it literally comes down to a single casual click of your mouse. As risk professionals and auditors, we're always hunting for these complex frauds, right? The elaborate schemes or deeply hidden accounting errors. But honestly, sometimes the absolute biggest financial leaks are hiding right in plain sight. They are disguised as everyday administrative convenience. So today, in this explainer, we're looking at the hidden dangers of the ultimate office shortcut. We're going to see why working faster absolutely doesn't always mean working smarter, especially when it's the company's funds on the line.
Let me paint a picture for you. It's a standard Tuesday afternoon, right? A corporate buyer needs to order 50 brand new laptops for a rapidly expanding branch office. The pressure is on. So to save some precious time, she digs into the ERP system, finds an old purchase order from exactly 2 years ago, and just clicks copy. Boom. Done. That's it. She saved herself, maybe 5 minutes of tedious typing? But here is the truly terrifying part. When the invoices finally cleared and the dust settled, that single rapid-fire click ended up costing her company a staggering 3 lakh rupees. 3 lakh rupees, all because of a 5-minute shortcut.
Okay, let's dive into this. How on earth does saving 5 minutes of data entry result in such a massive financial loss? Well, the answer is unfortunately pretty simple. And to be honest, it's a trap literally any of us could fall into. She was just being a bit lazy. By blindly hitting that copy button, she completely and utterly ignored the current market reality. I mean, think about how fast technology moves. Older laptop models naturally depreciate as newer, faster processors hit the market. So technology prices had actually dropped massively since that original order was placed 2 years ago. But because she just didn't check, she locked her company into those old, heavily inflated rates, basically just throwing away money that could have been used to actually grow the business. So what exactly happened here in the system? Well, in plain English, a repeat order is just a quick administrative shortcut in an ERP system, like SAP or Oracle. It's a built-in feature that lets a buyer instantly duplicate a previous purchase order. And look, it's a tool designed purely for efficiency. It's meant to save you from painfully retyping those tedious 50-character part numbers, the complex vendor identification codes, and tax line items row by row. It's a fantastic feature for reducing admin fatigue, and it does exactly what it was programmed to do, right? It brings back the past perfectly. But bringing back the past isn't always what you want in a dynamic economy.
And that brings us to our golden rule. You really have to think of this function as copying homework safely. While the shortcut is incredibly useful for getting the busy work out of the way, the buyer's absolute, non-negotiable duty is to make sure the old information still makes financial sense today. You must strictly revalidate those prices and terms for today's market before you ever hit submit. Why does this matter to you as a risk professional? Because an ERP system doesn't know the state of the global economy. It doesn't read the financial news. It literally only knows what you tell it to duplicate.
To see how easily this mistake happens to the best of us, let's anchor this concept with something highly relatable from our daily lives. We call this the pizza trap. Just imagine it's a Friday night. You are completely exhausted from a long week of audits and reports. You're hungry, and you really loved the pizza you ordered last month from that great local spot down the street. So you pull up your favorite food delivery app, your mouth is watering, and you just want the food on its way. You bypass the menu entirely, and you just smash that quick reorder button. But if you blindly click reorder without actively looking at the screen, you're gonna miss the hidden details. Sure, you saved yourself maybe 5 seconds of screen tapping, but you totally didn't notice that the restaurant quietly doubled their pizza prices because of inflation, or that the app platform quietly added a massive peak hour delivery fee since your last purchase. The end result? Your quick Friday night dinner just turned into a premium expense, and you severely overpaid for your food. You fell right into the trap of assuming the past equals the present. So let's take that exact same pizza trap logic and apply it back to the corporate office. Let's look at how this function should actually be used in the real world. Meet Ria. She's a procurement specialist at our fictional company XYZ Limited. Now, Ria has a task on her desk. She needs to order 100 ergonomic office chairs for a newly renovated floor. She knows manually entering the specs for 100 chairs is going to take forever. So she looks into the ERP system and finds a purchase order from early 2024 for the exact same make and model. She's getting ready to use the repeat order function, but Ria is a risk-vigilant buyer.
And this brilliantly illustrates the right way to handle a repeat order. RIA uses the function to instantly copy all those vendor details, delivery addresses, and complex material codes into a fresh purchase order. But instead of blindly hitting submit and calling it a day, RIA actually does her homework. She checks the current market. She realizes that global supply chains have stabilized and the cost of industrial plastic has actually dropped significantly since that last order. So she picks up the phone, calls the vendor, and confidently negotiates a 10% market discount. She updates the price on her copied PO, successfully saving hours of administrative typing while simultaneously securing a massive bottom-line win for her company. Now that is how you do it.
This brings us to a massive, widespread beginner confusion in the procurement world. People constantly mix up an administrative shortcut with a legally binding contract. And why do beginners mix this up? Well, because in the system, both actions look exactly the same. You're just pulling up a vendor and placing an order based on existing data. But legally, they are vastly different beasts. On the left side here, we have the repeat order, which, as we've established, is literally just a copy-paste typing shortcut. But on the right, we have an outline agreement, or a master agreement, which is a rigorous, pre-negotiated, legally binding framework between two companies.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is where the true risk lies. A repeat order offers absolutely zero price protection. None. It doesn't guarantee the vendor will accept the old price. You actually have to verify it every single time, because sending a repeat order is essentially just asking the vendor, hey, can we do this exact same thing again? An outline agreement, on the other hand, legally guarantees that exact price for future orders, no matter how much the market changes or fluctuates. It's a contractual shield. Mistaking a mere copy-paste tool for a contractual shield, yeah, that is exactly how budgets get destroyed.
Because of this widespread confusion, auditors are always on the lookout for a major operational failure. They call it the zombie price. Honestly, this is the ultimate auditor's red flag for lazy procurement. It's this undead price that just keeps eating your budget alive, month after month. Auditors will actually run sophisticated data analytics specifically to hunt for this exact failure. They're looking for buyers who rely entirely on the system's memory rather than their own active market research. It's called a zombie price because the original context of that price died years ago, but the number just keeps walking through the system, draining resources without anyone even noticing.
When auditors dig into the data, what they're really looking for are trend lines. They are hunting for buyers who use the repeat order button on the exact same material for 3 or 4 years straight without ever once asking the vendor for a fresh quotation or testing the open market. I mean, think about it. If you're paying the exact same price in 2026 that you paid back during your original 2022 purchase without any concrete market justification, you aren't just being inefficient, you are actively bleeding company funds year after year. The market moves every single day. Your prices absolutely shouldn't be stuck in a time capsule. So, the crucial point is this unforgettable rule for safe procurement. Copying old paperwork saves time, but copying old prices destroys budgets. Efficiency is incredibly important in any modern workplace, for sure, but it can never come at the expense of basic financial diligence. We really have to remain vigilant. The next time you're tempted to save a few minutes with a digital shortcut, whether that's on a food app or in a multi-million-dollar ERP system, just take a pause. Ask yourself, are you just copying the homework, or are you blindly copying a massive, costly mistake?